Once again, good morning, everybody. Welcome to this session. And in today's session, I will look into some of the problems based on the average value and the RMS value. Okay. So in the previous class, we looked into derivation of the RMS value and the peak value, right? What is the RMS value and the average value? What is the average value? Average value is nothing but the area under the waveform for a half cycle divided by the total time period for the half cycle. So we take half cycle if it is a symmetrical waveform. Symmetrical waveform is what? If the positive half cycle is exactly same as the negative half cycle, we call it as a symmetrical waveform. And if it is a symmetrical waveform, the average value is given as area under the waveform for half cycle divided by the time period for the half cycle. If it is an unsymmetrical waveform, the meaning is positive cycle is not same as the negative cycle, then it is called as an unsymmetrical waveform. Then we take the complete one cycle. That time average value is calculated as the area under the curve for one cycle divided by the time period for one cycle. And we did the derivation for the sinusoidal waveform. We took a small strip and we integrated, we found the area for that, then we integrated for the half cycle, because sinusoidal is a symmetrical waveform. And we got the average value represented as I average is equal to 0.637 times the peak value or the IM. Similarly, if it is a voltage, V average is equal to 0.637 Vm, that is the peak value. So average value would be 0.637 times the peak value. And similarly, we calculated the root mean square value, that is RMS value. And I told you all the entities, all the alternating quantities, voltage and the current for every household and whatever the equipment that we use in industries, in everywhere, RMS value is used. Whatever voltage and current specification you see, those are all RMS value. And RMS value derivation we did, and how to calculate the RMS value. In case of a RMS value, we take the squared waveform. So the normal waveform is the sinusoidal waveform, that is I is equal to Im sin theta. What we are going to take is a the squared waveform, that is RMS value of the quantity. The RMS of value of the quantity is given as square root of area under the squared waveform. So we have to take the area under the squared waveform, area under the square waveform divided by the half cycle. Why we are taking half cycle? Because both the cycles are same. Or if it is represented as a instantaneous values, then it is square root of sum of all the squares of the instantaneous values divided by number of samples. So this is the equation. One is RMS value can be found out as square root of I1 square plus I2 square plus I3 square plus so on In square divided by n, that is number of samples, or square root of area of the squared waveform for half a cycle divided by half cycle time period. And we get the RMS value as I is equal to 0.707 times the peak value. So IRMS is equal to 0.707 IM. And similarly, if you find the RMS value of the voltage, it would be VRMS is equal to 0.707 VM. So these both derivations are very, very important from the examples. Next, based once we calculate the RMS value and the average value, then there are two factors that we can find for a certain waveform. Those are called as a form factor and the peak factor. And what is a form factor? Form factor is nothing but the ratio of RMS value to the average value. So this is just a ratio. Already you have found the RMS value and divided by the average value, that gives the form factor. And form factor is constant for a given waveform. So its value will not change. For a given waveform, it is constant. For example, if you want to find out for this sinusoidal waveform, as of now, we have found already what is the RMS value of the sinusoidal waveform, average value of the sinusoidal waveform. RMS value is given as 0.707 times the peak value or the maximum value, and average value is 0.637 times the peak value or the maximum value. So if we substitute that, okay, so this is the this is for the sinusoidal waveform. This is RMS value 0.707 into max value divided by 0.637 into max value. We get it as 1.11. So form factor for a sinusoidal waveform is always 1.11, irrespective of what is the peak value, what is the time period of the sinusoidal waveform. The form factor for a sinusoidal waveform is always 1.1, 1.11. And what does the form factor indicates? The form factor gives the measure of peak value of the waveform. So it represents the peak value of the waveform. Maximum peak value greater form factor, vice versa. So if we have greater value for the maximum value for the peak value, then the form factor would be higher. If the form factor is higher, that represents the peak value is higher. And based on the observation for the different waveforms, by calculating the RMS value and average value, it has been observed that sine wave is much peakier than the square wave, and similarly triangular wave is more peakier than the sine wave. Next one is the peak factor. What is a peak factor? Peak factor is nothing but the ratio of the maximum value to the RMS value. Form factor is the ratio of RMS value to the average value. Peak factor is the ratio of maximum value to the RMS value. Just if you remember these two relations, form factor is equal to RMS value divided by average value, and peak factor is maximum value divided by RMS value. Then you can write the definition, and if there are questions asked to find out the peak factor in the form factor, you can easily do so. So similarly, for the sinusoidal waveform, peak factor can be calculated. Maximum value divided by the RMS value. RMS value we know it is 0.707 into max value. Max value will get cancelled. What we get is the peak factor for sinusoidal waveform is 1.414. Okay, and its peak factor is also called as a crest factor or amplitude factor. Now, we will in the exam they might give different waveforms, and for those waveforms they might ask you to calculate the average value, RMS value, form factor, and peak factor. So in this case, we have to find average value, RMS value, form factor, peak factor for half wave rectifier and full wave rectifier. Okay, so we have two outputs. One is a half wave rectifier output, and second one is a full wave rectifier output. For both the waveforms, we have to find these four quantities. Okay, these four: average value, RMS value, form factor, and peak factor. So we know already. I hope everybody knows what is the half wave rectifier. Let us begin with a half wave rectifier. In case of a half wave rectifier, we have the positive half cycle, and next negative cycle, there is no negative cycle, the quantity will become zero. For this example, the current, okay, the current will become zero from 0 to 2 pi. Again we will have a positive half cycle, then again zero, then again, so we will have only value during the first half cycle, and second half cycle zero, and it will repeat. Now, first thing, before we have to find the average value, first we have to see whether the given waveform is a symmetrical waveform or a unsymmetrical waveform. So the given half wave rectifier output, is it a symmetrical waveform or unsymmetrical waveform? So the waveform that you are seeing on the screen, is it symmetrical or unsymmetrical? Hmm? Anybody? Okay, so this is a unsymmetrical waveform because the positive half cycle and negative half cycle are not exactly the same. So we are, in order to find the average value, we are going to consider one complete cycle. So we are going to take from 0 to 2 pi. So what is the of area under the curve for one cycle? So here it is the area this curve 2 pi. So similar to the average value derivation, what we did, we can take a small strip here. Okay, if I disconnected, so I have connected to my mobile. Okay, let me see. Guys, am I audible?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it better? Is it better?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Someone, if there is any disconnection, I want somebody to call me. I will just, Shifa, you call me. Okay. I will just put my number here. So when I'll be on the other screen, sometime it gets disconnected. I will not be knowing. Okay. All right. Continue. So I hope the connection is better now. Yes, I couldn't get your answer. Okay. So this is, I told you, it is unsymmetrical waveform. Unsymmetrical waveform, area under the curve for one cycle divided by the half cycle time period. So area of one cycle. So here we will take a small strip here, uh, which is having a width of d theta, very similar to what we did in the average value derivation, and area of that strip is going to be I into d theta, and we are going to integrate that strip from 0 to pi. That is what you are seeing. Area is equal to 0 to pi I into d theta, and I is what? I is Im sin theta d theta, and once you do the calculation, you will get the area as a 2Im. Now, this area is 2Im, this area is 2Im, and this area is 0. Therefore, I average value is equal to 2Im plus 0 divided by 2 pi, and therefore I average is equal to Im by pi. Similarly, you can calculate the RMS value. What is the RMS value? It is a square root. Okay, the square root is missing. The square root of area of the squared wave, okay, for one cycle, or you can take half cycle, divided by the full cycle base, or if you are taking half cycle, you can keep it as half cycle. Now, for the area, we get it as Im pi divided by 2. So that we got directly from this. Okay, area is directly substituted from the RMS value. For the RMS value, we already calculated the area. I will show you that. Okay, you can see area of a half cycle of the squared wave. This is how we did. I square, the strip we are going to take is on the squared wave, isn't it? So the strip we are going to take is on the squared wave. Squared wave is I square. So this height is I square, right? This and this, the strip is assumed so thin. This and this are assumed to be equal, and the height of the strip is I square, and the width is d theta. So area of this strip is I square into d theta. For me to find the complete area under this squared wave, I have to integrate I square into d theta from 0 to pi. So that is what has been done here. Okay. Area of half cycle of the squared wave, integration 0 to pi I square d theta. Then I am sine theta. Therefore, I square is I am square sine square theta. And if you simplify this one, what we get is the area as Im square pi divided by 2. That is what is directly taken in the problem, because we already we have done that. So that's why I taken it as direct value. So you can see here Im square by pi divided by 2. Okay. Sorry, this is unsymmetrical waveform. We have to consider the full cycle. We shouldn't consider the half cycle, because the positive cycle and the negative cycle are not same. So we have to consider the full cycle. For the half cycle, the area is Im square pi divided by 2, and second half cycle is 0, and complete divided by 2 pi, and this is under the square root. Okay. So this 2 and this 2 2 and 2 this 2 and okay, there is a 2 will not get cancelled, pi will get cancelled. What remains is Im square divided by 4, because here 2 is in the denominator and 2 is in the denominator. 2 into 2 4. This pi is in the numerator and this is in the denominator. Pi will get cancelled. What remains is Im square by 4. It is inside the square root. So what is the value of the RMS value? RMS value of the half wave rectifier is Im by 2. Now you found out the average value of the half wave rectifier is Im by pi, and RMS value is Im by 2. So Im by 2 means what? 0.5 Im. Now you know I average, I RMS, then you can calculate the form factor. What is the form factor? Form factor is the ratio of the RMS value to the average value. I RMS divided by I average. We already found out the RMS value as Im by 2, and I average is Im by pi. If you calculate, we get the value as 1.57. So for the half wave rectifier, form factor is constant and it is 1.57. And what is the peak factor? I max divided by I RMS. So Im divided by I RMS value is Im by 2. So this 2 will go in the numerator, Im will get cancelled. What remains is the 2. So the peak factor for a half wave rectifier is 2. So similar way we can do the calculation for the full wave rectifier. So in case of a full wave rectifier, we have to take the area under the curve for because here this and this cycle, this and this cycle, they are, even though they are not opposite, but they are exactly the same. So we need not take 2 times. Even if I square this waveform, both would be exactly the same. So you can just take half a cycle, right? So what is the average area? Average area, average current is equal to area under half cycle divided by the half cycle time period. That is area of half cycle, then half cycle days. And what is the area of a half cycle? We already calculated in case of a 2 Im. So area is 2 Im that we are directly using here. So area of half cycle is 2 Im, and the period half cycle base is how much? 0 to pi. Okay, that is pi. So this is the average value. So if you observe, What was the average value for half wave rectifier? It was Im by pi, isn't it? I will show you. Average value for the half wave rectifier is Im by pi. So now for full wave rectifier, it is 2 times, isn't it? 2 times Im by pi. That is what we got. So it is double. The average value of the full wave rectifier is double the half wave rectifier average value. Again, RMS value, square root of area of the squared wave over half cycle divided by half cycle base. Why we are taking half cycle base? The squared wave would be exactly same for the both the half cycles. And already we know what is the area. It is Im square pi by 2 and divided by half cycle time basis pi. What we remain is Im square divided by 2, that is the this whole thing comes under the square root. Therefore what we get the RMS value Im by root 2. If you see this Im by root 2, it is exactly same as the RMS value for the sinusoidal waveform, that is 0.707 Im. Now we can calculate the form factor. Form factor is RMS value divided by average value. RMS value we got it as Im by root 2, and we got the average value as 2 Im by 2 Im by pi, right? So here 2 Im by pi, and Im will get cancelled. What remains is 1.11. That is the form factor. Peak factor, Im divided by IRMS. Im divided by IRMS is Im by root 2. So Im by root 2. So this we get it as 1.414. In case of half wave rectifier, the form factor is 1.57, and peak factor in case of a half wave rectifier it is 2, and in case of full rectifier it is 1.11 and 1.414. Okay, next problem. An alternating voltage V, lowercase v, is equal to 200 sine 314t applied to a device which offers an ohmic resistance of 20 ohm to the flow of current in one direction while entirely preventing the flow of current in the opposite direction. Calculate RMS value of the average value, and form factor. So now they have given one equation, alternating voltage equation is given, that is V is equal to that is the voltage. Okay, voltage is V is equal to 200 sine 314t. Now this voltage is applied to an device. The device is such that it offers a resistance of 20 ohm in one direction and to flow the current in one direction while entirely preventing the flow of current in the opposite direction. Means what? In one direction it offers a 20 ohm resistance, it allows the current to flow, but in opposite direction, next half cycle, it will entirely stop the current. So can you imagine what device is, what device they are talking about? What is this device which allows current to flow in one direction and completely stops the current in other direction?
Diode.
Diode. Very good, Prashant. Okay, this is nothing but they just put the whatever the question they are asking, they put it in different forms. Now what we're talking about is which we already did, half wave rectifier. So this is nothing but a half wave rectifier output, and for that half wave rectifier we already calculated the RMS value and the peak value, RMS value and the average value, and using that we can calculate the form factor and peak factor if required. First we will calculate the current. Current is what? V is equal to IR, Ohm's law, that remains the same. V is equal to lowercase v is equal to lowercase I into R, or capital Vm is equal to capital Im into R. Okay, therefore Im is equal to Vm by R. So Vm is what? This peak value 200. R they have given the ohmic resistance 20. So 200 by 20, 10 amperes. So Im is the peak value. Now we got the equation for the current. What would be the equation for the current? Lowercase I is equal to Im sine 314t. Okay. Now first we have to find the RMS value. Here RMS value and the average value I am directly taking from the previous derivation. Okay, in the previous derivation we got the RMS value and average value as Im by 2 and Im by pi. So if you want, I will just go back and I will show you that where we did the half wave rectifier, not full wave, half wave. So you can see this is so RMS value we got it as Im by 2 and average value Im by pi. So RMS is Im by 2, I average is Im by pi. These values I have directly used in that solving that particular problem. So now RMS value is Im by 2, average value Im by pi. So Im by 2 is 10 by 2, 5 amperes is the RMS value. Average value Im, that is 10 divided by pi, that we get it as 3.18 amperes. Now form factor, we know the what is form factor. Form factor is nothing but the ratio of RMS value to the average value. RMS value is how much? 5 amperes. Average value is this one. We get it as 1.57. If you remember, for half wave rectifier, form factor is constant, that is 1.57. That is how you can verify whether your answer is correct or not. Okay, next problem. This is the current waveform they have given. The current has the following steady values in amp for equal interval of time, changing instantaneously from one value to the next. As see, you can see here these time intervals are exactly the same. That is what the problem says. Then the current is changing like this. Initially for the given interval it is 0 amperes, 10, 20, 30, then 20, 10 amperes, then it is 0, minus 10, minus 20, minus 30, minus 20, minus, sorry, this is minus 30, minus 20, minus 10 and 0. So this is the waveform that they have given. Now what you have to do is you have to calculate the average value, RMS value and the form factor, peak factor. Can you calculate the average value? Now these are the instantaneous value they have given. How many instants are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So at instant 1, I1 is 0, I2 is 10, I3 is 20, I3 is 30, I4 20, I5 10, I6 0. So can you calculate the average value for this? First, is it a symmetrical waveform or unsymmetrical waveform? First question. Guys, speak up. Is it symmetrical or unsymmetrical?
Symmetrical.
Okay, so it is a symmetrical waveform. So whenever there is a symmetrical waveform, you will take only the half cycle, right? And do the calculation for the average value. So which formula you will use here to calculate the average value? We have one formula based on the area, another formula based on the instantaneous values. So you have to use the second one based on the instantaneous values. So we have 6 samples here and 6 instantaneous values for the current. So just I will show it. You can calculate the RMS value. So I average, we have 6 instances, I1, I2, I3, I4, I5 and I6. So this is the end of the cycle. Then this is next half cycle. This is first half cycle. Then this is next half cycle. Okay, both these cycles are exactly same. Okay, if you take the average over complete cycle, it will become 0 because it is symmetrical waveform. That's why you are going to consider only half cycle. So I1 value 0, I2 10, I3 20, 30, 20, and 10. This is the 10. And how many samples are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 divided by 6. So if you calculate this, you will get it as 15 amperes. Can anybody tell me the what would be the equation for the RMS value? What would be the, based on same instantaneous values, what would be the RMS value? IRMS is equal to square root of I1 square plus I2 square plus I3 square plus I4 square plus I5 square plus I6 square divided by 6. RMS value, you have to take a square root here. Please put a square root. Okay, square root is put at later stage, but it starts with a square root of I1 square plus until I6 square divided by 6. 0 square, 10 square, plus 20 square, plus 30 square, plus 20 square, plus 10 square. If you calculate this, you get it as 316. Square root of that, 17.8 amperes. Average value, we got it as 15 amperes. So what is the meaning of 15 amperes? 15 amperes is somewhere here. This waveform is equivalent to a DC of 15 amperes. Okay, so that is based on the principle the same amount of charge will be flowing compared to this alternating as well as the DC current. And what is the RMS value? RMS value is 17.8 amperes. So 17.8 is somewhere here. Okay, so 17.8 is the direct current equivalent, which will produce same amount of heat in a given time as produced by this alternating waveform. That is the meaning of the average and the RMS values. Once you know the RMS value and average value, you can calculate the form factor. Form factor is IRMS divided by I average, 17.8 divided by 15 amperes, that is equal to 1.19 amperes. Then peak factor is equal to IM divided by IRMS. IM is 30. Why IM is 30? You can see here peak value, the peak value, that is 30. This is positive peak, then this is negative peak. So peak factor IM by IRMS is equal to 30 by 17.8. We get it as 1.68. Okay, that completes the module 1.